The number one source of lack of internal alignment is there's no North Star. Everybody's left to have their own opinion on what they think makes the most sense for, and it's draped, it is clouded, and we're packaged up as what's best for the customer. But there's no central operating system. There's no operationalized voice of a customer that is the North Star that just says, guys, this is how we align around it. So when you said that, how does the CMO take that role? Like, how do we stand up and do that when we're not even being asked to do it, although we know we have to do it?
I like the way you frame that up because, right, it's a proactive move. We're not being asked. I learned this in my computer days as a marketing person. I can't do engineering work. I'm not a mechanical engineer. So I would never pretend to be one, but the mechanical engineer pretended to be a marketing person and thought he could do my job. So I learned early on, everybody thinks they can do it. So understanding the customer better than anyone else is a weapon that you use internally to get to build respect and build credibility. And I always viewed myself as the chief experience, the chief customer officer. I mean, CMO is just a label, but everything you say, you have to own it and just decide this is your company and you're as the CMO, you get the free, and of course, maybe you have a different boss, different. I've always had these wonderful bosses that give me as much rope as I'll take, and I'll take a lot. When I got my first CMO role at Infosys way back in 2010, and I said, look, put all the marketing team, they're all embedded across the company. I put them all under me, the whole Megillah. And it really worked out well and it gave me a platform. But then you have to earn it. You have to not only understand the client or customer, we call them clients, you have to be a great evangelist. So they go, it's the flip side of that word marketing. So the first part of it was the market and understanding the pain point and the clients and then being proactive. And the other side of the coin in marketing is you're the one bringing your story to market, whether it's a product or service. As the CMO, you can't be behind the scenes. You've got to be the one leading from the front internally and externally. And people, it's actually a tough role. I made every mistake in the book and got my nose bloodied. If you can survive and advance, it's the most powerful position because you get that freedom to represent the market and then direct that to the people that are crafting the offerings, and they will respect you, but you got to earn that respect. That is the crux of it all. It's not just project managing and making sure the website's fast and your SEO's good. No, that's the stuff we do with our eyes closed. You really touched on the hidden secret of a successful CMO is the proactive ownership of taking all those roles you talked about, putting it into one, and you've already done all the groundwork to be able to explain what's happening in the market, and then you're able to evangelize it. So that's why the CMO is one of the toughest roles because it's not for the faint of heart, and you've got to lead with your chin. And sometimes there'll be bad days. I'll make a mistake, and you just got to pick yourself up the next day and go at it again as long as they'll have you. And it's fun. I think it's the key leader role in any company. I'm a little bit biased, but I feel like it's the key leadership role. It's the one with the most ambiguity around it that you can grab and shape as you will.
It's interesting. There's not going to be anybody that doesn't buy into what we're saying, but the difference is actually doing something about it. And so I was in a conversation with a VP of growth and demand gen, enterprise company in 40 some odd countries across the world. And she said, Steve, we go flying in blind a lot of the time. Like, we know the challenges based on kind of the industry. We've been at all the conferences, we've read, we've researched on AI. We know the vertical that they're in. But you said something earlier. It's like, but what's going on in that company? What do they think their challenges are? We are all proud that we can create our own unique go-to-market strategy. We should be recognizing that we have our own unique challenges too, of what we're trying to do and how we're trying to do it and how we see it, right? And so the reason why this reminded me of our conversation here is we think we know a lot. We get very familiar with the data, the NPS surveys and scores that we have coming back, the feedback from sales and customer success. And It might be controversial, but I think the conversations that we have inside of sales conversations are so important, so valuable, but also very, very limited. When I'm being sold to, I have my cards on my chest. I'm not revealing them. I'm looking at them here, but I'm not opening up. I'm trying to figure out what can I glean from Paul as he's selling me. And what we really need is why most CMOs, when they go into a new position, first thing they do is they start calling up, they start talking, having a conversation, non-sales conversation with customers and like, tell us the real deal, right? We come out of cab meetings and we're like doing high fives and belly bumps because we're like, what we learned, we got to do this more often, right? But we don't. And we rely on the regular business motions to feed us insights and the data that we have coming in from our tech stacks and all kinds of things. I have a feeling I know what you're going to say to this question. I feel like we lose the human element. I feel like there's the lack of connection and then therefore the conversation and then the relationship and the trust, right?